Have you ever wondered how powerful Michael Corleone is in the third film of the saga? Then keep watching, as we will analyze it together. Well, Michael's real wealth in The Godfather Part 3 isn't explicitly mentioned, but there are clues that suggest he has accumulated a massive fortune over the years. Some hints help estimate his wealth. At some point between The Godfather Part 2 and 3, Michael sold all his illegal operations, including his casinos, consolidating his fortune into legitimate money. Since Las Vegas was one of his main businesses, the sale of these properties surely earned him billions of dollars. At the beginning of the third, Michael is trying to fully legitimize his business and makes a huge investment in Internazionale Immobiliare, a real estate holding company with strong ties to the Vatican. He offers $600 million to acquire a majority stake, suggesting that his fortune is much larger than that. Even though he's trying to distance himself from crime, Michael remains extremely influential and capable of moving large sums of money. He also donates $100 million to charity at the beginning of the film, indicating that this amount is not a burden to him. The Immobiliare, it is described as one of the largest real estate corporations in the world, with vast assets and global influence. Michael Corleone's involvement in this company could make him one of the richest men in the world for several reasons. The company has vast real estate assets around the world, meaning it controls high-value properties like hotels, casinos, commercial buildings, and valuable land. The film itself mentions that the holding company is worth billions of dollars. Being the largest shareholder with 51% of the shares after the $600 million investment, Michael would have control over its profits. Internazionale Immobiliare has strong ties to the Vatican Bank, allowing it to move money and investments with fewer regulatory restrictions. Historically, the Vatican has vast financial reserves and influence in the banking sector, facilitating transactions and profits. Church-linked businesses often enjoy tax exemptions and political influence, making investments even more profitable. During this time, the real estate sector was rapidly growing, especially in cities like New York, Rome, and Las Vegas. Controlling a large share of this market means huge profits from rents, sales, and real estate speculation. Michael Corleone was always a strategist. He saw that traditional crime was becoming obsolete and moved to a sector where he could make money legitimately, but with aggressive tactics and powerful contacts. Large real estate and financial corporations like Internazionale Immobiliare were becoming the new empires of capitalism, and Michael positioned himself to be one of the magnates of this new era. If Internazionale Immobiliare really were worth billions of dollars, and Michael had shareholder control, he could easily become one of the richest men in the world, possibly with a net worth exceeding $10 billion adjusted for the time. That would be a gigantic fortune for the period. In the late 70s and early 80s, there were very few billionaires in the world. Some of the richest were Paul Getty with $6 billion in the oil industry, Aristotle Onassis with $1 billion in the shipping industry, Sam Walton with $1.3 billion, founder of Walmart. If Michael had a net worth above $5 to $10 billion, he would be among the richest men on the planet at that time. To give an idea of the power of Internazionale Immobiliare, here are some companies and their market values at the time. IBM with $36 billion in 1980. General Motors with $19 billion in 1980. Ford with $15 billion in 1980. If Immobiliare were truly worth billions of dollars, Michael would be on par with banking and industrial magnates, a rare status for a former mobster. At that time, real estate magnates had more modest fortunes. Donald Trump was not yet a billionaire, but he was already a millionaire in real estate. Harry Helmsley with approximately $1 billion, owner of iconic properties in New York. If Michael controlled the largest stake in a global real estate holding, he would have an empire bigger than any known real estate magnate. He would have global political influence, like top bankers and oil tycoons. He would control a real estate empire capable of rivaling the largest conglomerates in the world. His financial power would make him untouchable, except by the enemies he made in the church and organized crime. As we see in the film, what prevented him from consolidating this status was the betrayal within the Vatican, the banking fraud schemes, and the subsequent murders. His plan was brilliant, but the old mafia enemies and corruption at the highest levels kept him from fully taking advantage of this wealth. Even so, financially, Michael went far beyond Vito, transforming the Corleones into a global empire, elevating the family business to a much greater level. Considering the era the film takes place, late 1970s and early 1980s, and comparing it to magnates in the real estate and banking sectors of the time, his fortune would likely be in the billions of dollars range. Although there is no exact figure, it is reasonable to estimate that Michael Corleone's real wealth in The Godfather Part 3 would be several $billion, making him one of the richest men at that time.
Your shares in